Hello. It's it's about 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon, 14th of June, 2026. And here I am in Black Irish Tent Embassy. It might seem a little bit dim, which it is, but the mood is not dim. I wanted to make that clear. I'm feeling okay, and the reason I'm making this video right now is just to check in. I haven't done a little check in, so I thought I should. Maybe I should have thought this through a little bit beforehand. A fair bit's been going on. Namely, I'm back sleeping in the tent. Day 4. Came here Wednesday night. Late. Got out of Mel's place, the flat that I was cat sitting. Got here late. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 nights. Sleep has been the issue, I suppose. Largely, probably a couple of reasons. I've really dialed back on the alcohol, which is great. And as a few people might be aware, that does sort of let the fucking cattle out of the fucking gate with your sleep. Fucks things up, basically. But hopefully we're getting over that. At the same time, trying to dial back on the late night YouTube habit. Not a great thing. Kind of the equivalent of watching late night TV early into the morning. Not a great thing at all. And also the little bed, if you'd call it that. Or what else would you call it? I don't know. Don't fucking bug me. That I'm sleeping on is work in progress. And it's amazing how sensitive the body can become to an inadequate sleeping apparatus. But anyway, those things combined, sleep's really been the issue over the last 4 nights, especially last night. It's a weird thing. You can kind of get away with one night sleeping on a dodgy mattress, but 2, 3, 4 nights, turns out your body starts going, nah, can't do this, to the point where last night it was like my lower back was just going, nah, this is fucking fucked. And you think it's okay. You kind of, I'm on this bed where it's like, it's a mattress, sleeping mat, folded over, so it's comfortable enough. And because I'm on a slope, just a slight slope, but a slope, I've had to build up the bottom end and on one side as well. And each time I've done that, I've gone, okay, that feels much better. And then I drift off to sleep, or I don't. And the next night or the next minute, your body's going, nah, still not good enough. You feel like there's a slight twist in your hips or a slight dip or something. Anyway, so yeah, last night that all kind of came to a head. And there I was lying 1, 2 a.m. lying and in quite severe pain. So yeah, that ended up with me going for a walk to straighten the back out, give it a rest from lying down. And anyway, last 4 nights back in the tent, that's really been the trajectory of how I'm feeling. And it is funny, like how back pain, back discomfort, I find really interrupts your intrinsic biological motivation. You know, I feel like when things are good, when you're not drinking and you're not addicted to TV and you're not depressed and you're not maybe doing even other bad things, I find the body seeks out things it wants to do. You know, really basic things, like it might be just going to use the bathroom or have a shower or hunger. the body goes, I want to do that now, and you go, okay, let's do that, you know. And I've noticed having a sore back interrupts that. It's almost like there's this anchor in the motivation kind of function of the body, and the body goes, no, I just want to stay still, which is, you know, I don't know. I feel over the last four nights, 4 days, that motivation has been really challenging. You're probably noticing that the place is rather dim, which it is. It's like I'm in a cave. And I think that affects the motivation as well. Been a bit of a problem, to be honest. This is this great tent that I'm in. I'll give you a look in a minute. But one of the double-edged swords, one of the kind of complicating factors is because it's such a fucking good tent. It's really dark in here. If this light was off and I didn't have this flap open, there's daylight. Where's daylight? Come on, daylight. There's some daylight. There it is. There's the daylight just out there through the little vestibule flap. So if this was shut and that light was off, this place would be dark as fucking shit. You know, I've got flap open. I keep these. There's a flap out here. There's one big flap that you can actually bring this whole thing up, but I keep that shut because there's a university about 5 meters that way, and I just want to keep this place anonymous. You know, I mean, you can't miss it, but at the same time, if I just keep the flaps down, then there's no sign of life, put it that way, which is just how I want it to be. So anyway, the darkness, the uncomfortable bed, the sleep has really been the challenge over the last 4 nights. I don't think I'm quite there yet, but I'm feeling a bit better. I'm actually feeling like sitting up, and that was a bit different yesterday. Yesterday I just felt like lying down. But here we are. So I'll give you a little look. So we have the mat that I'm sleeping on. There we go. It's this folded over, I think it's an IKEA sort of, I don't know if you'd call it a futon, but it's a, you know, sort of 1 inch thick thing that folds, and underneath I've padded up down to the base with so the base is down here, and I've padded up on this side because it slopes from the left to the right and it slopes from the top to the bottom. So padded up down here with, and you see, cardboard, and I've padded up more on that side, cardboard and other things. So anything I don't need, it's big and canvassy. So I think there's an inflatable mattress folded up in there. There's a cardboard boxes folded up, more at the bottom than the top. It comes up to about here, halfway up. There's a yoga mat in there which is folded over, so more of it at the bottom than the top. There's a sleeping bag which is sort of on this angle, something like that. And bit by bit I've just added more to the bottom, up to the top, and even just half an hour ago I've added these bits of cardboard just in here under these spots, and I think gradually it's getting more level, and with the idea being that I can just sleep and not have a fucking sore back. I did have visions of using a level, making bits of maybe cutting styrofoam and so forth, and really doing it properly, but sort of due to the nature of being a bit limited with time and motivation, and just the need to, you know, just fucking fix it so I can lie down and sleep, I've done this sort of ad hoc method. I've just gone and found bits of cardboard, and I've found that in the last day or so that I've been doing that, that's really fixed it bit by bit until, you know, last night I was really uncomfortable by about 2 a.m. When I can't do this. I went for a walk and then came back and slept right through. I think I slept for a good 7 or 8 hours, maybe something like that. Anyway, so that's where we're at. And I do find it interesting as well that coming out of these motivation dips, I think behavioral activation is the word, and you'll often find that there'll be this moment, this kind of, what's the word? Not influx, this trajectory where anyway, there's a word there for you. Actually, no, there's not a word there for you. There's a gap where there needs to be a word. Anyway, where all of a sudden you take off, and I'm just finding that all of a sudden you get up and you move things and you tidy up. So here's the tent at the moment. It's about 4 square meters, and it needs a tidy, by the way. So I've got some books, foodstuffs, some personal belongings. This is kind of like my stuff area. Canned tomatoes. Washing goes down here. God, it's really dark, isn't it? Not a lot of light in here. Clothing. This is my wardrobe. This needs to be tidied up. And then a bit of hardware in there. Boots. And then over here, stuff, kind of just a pile of the school stuff, and there's some stuff buried under there. So there's, it's a bit of a mess at the moment, but it is what it is. Of course, I've got my trusty LED light up there, my cinematic LED light, and so that's the tent at the moment. That's where we're at. I'm feeling good. I've largely done the things I would prefer to be ticking off in the last few days. Reading. I've at least been keeping the phone off for large durations, even if I did have a massive YouTube binge yesterday. Very little alcohol. Had one drink in the last, all those 4 nighs. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 1 beer on a Friday night. I overcame one big craving episode Friday evening. I was like, it was almost visceral, so the goal at the moment is to get these behaviors that I'm trying to reintroduce starting to happen. There's yoga, reading, exercise, running, and so forth. A couple of things like that. Schoolwork. Not quite there yet, but we've been out and about today. We've done some journaling, so we've got that happening. And then there's a couple of others, and I'm just finding, it's funny. Maybe it goes back to the problem around having a sore back or coming out of a period of not behaving, alcohol use, high alcohol use, that I'm just finding even the basic things like going and having a shower, going down to the shops, are sort of like there's this instinct or something tugging you backwards, holding you back. My body just doesn't want to do it. The shops are just down there. A shower, I've got a choice, but I could just, anyway, these little things, shops, even just getting up to go and tidy my washing over there, it's like there's some invisible cord holding you back. And it's interesting. I've experienced this before, where having been in that state, and when you're in this state, you're dumb scrolling, you're wasting time on YouTube, you're drinking, you're lying there, you're not doing these good things. I've experienced how lying there you literally feel the thought of it is like, the thought's there. I can picture myself walking down the hill to the Broadway shopping centre and going buying some stuff to eat. But there's some, I don't know, there's some stasis, there's some missing part of the mechanism, or there's the result being that I'm not going for it. That showering, exercise, there's something, it's not working. It's weird, I don't know, but and what I'm trying to do is to go back and experience what I have experienced before. You cut off these other behaviors, the dumb scrolling, the YouTube, the time wasting on YouTube, drinking, they're the big ones, I suppose. And then you start responding to these tugs, even if they're very, very gentle, and then all of a sudden you're this fucking, I was going to say tug machine, not so much. All of a sudden these little invitations from, maybe it's your better instincts to do these things, you respond, and then you just do them. It's a brilliant feeling, and I'm trying, that's the goal at the moment, to get back to that. Just had a magpie out there. So yeah, that's where we're at. I mean, it's great when you can turn around and go, look, I've tidied up. That's the tug. You respond to the tug, you go with it, and maybe that's where the momentum comes up. So that's the goal. So we'll see how we go. I did read something interesting today. I'm reading a book by Daniel Goleman and Richard, what's his name? Richard J. Davidson. Both PhD doctors. Here's the book. Is it flipped? I don't know. That D up there should be on your right. It's not, it's on the left. This book's flipped. Can't see it. It's Altered Traits, and it said just here, I'm going to change hands here, just here, now it's about meditation and how it they're asking whether it can permanently alter your behavioural kind of mechanisms, I suppose, your neuro pathways. And it says here, the healthy states inhibit unhealthy ones and vice versa. The mark of progress along this path is whether our reactions in daily life signal a shift towards healthy states. The goal is to establish the healthy state as predominant, lasting traits. So what I read into that, the healthy states inhibit the unhealthy ones. The healthy state of walking to the shops, maybe, inhibits the unhealthy one of feeling drawn to dumb scrolling, wasting time on YouTube. The healthy state of even walking is better than being inactive. The healthy state of cooking, preparing food, inhibits the state of, I don't know, wanting to have a drink, maybe, something like that. And I have noticed that, for example, going back to the discomfort of the bed, funnily enough, that when I'm doing something that I'm sort of drawn to do, even if it's an unhealthy behavior, like watching YouTube, my back doesn't hurt. And why is that? I could be lying there watching YouTube, wasting time in this sort of dumb scrolling, poker machine kind of dumb state, and I'm not feeling a sore back. And the moment I put the phone away and go, right, I'm going to behave now, good behaviour, I'm going to abstain, all of a sudden your back starts hurting. It's a different state. So I don't know, there's something in there. I think that proves that the states exist. You're in one state and then you're not. But I suppose the goal is to go into that state, or go into a state which is brought about or part of a healthy behaviour. Preparing, cleaning, exercising, doing schoolwork, reading, doing yoga, whatever, rather than an unhealthy behaviour. So anyway, that's the overall experiment that I'm sort of imposing on myself at the moment. You know, we're obviously not there yet because it's after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and here I am, I haven't had a shower, and I haven't done the shopping, and I haven't done the exercise. But hopefully we're heading in the right direction. Well, that's a long video, and you know, I'm not even going to say if you're still with me, because nobody watches my videos except for me. So James, I'm glad you're still with me. I'm going to stand up and get ready, and I'm going to go and take care of a couple of things that need taken care of. So, you know, good luck, look after yourself, and I'll see you at the next one. See you later. Boop.